Yeah. This ain't just a song, it's a warning. A story hidden beneath the fame. Listen closely. Yeah. There once was a kid in a town nobody knew. Gray skies every morning, nothing breaking through. He lived in a small room with posters on the wall. A hero in the spotlight was the answer to it all. His father disappeared when he barely turned 3. His mother fought her battles, barely noticed what she'd see. The television glowed like a window to escape, and every rhyme he heard became a path he could take. He memorized the lyrics, every interview in line. Spent his nights imagining the star was a friend of his mind. When classmates laughed at him, when life became too hard, he found comfort in the music and protection in the bars. He started writing letters, page after page, sharing every secret, every hurt, every rage. Told stories of his struggles and the darkness in his head, believing if the artist knew he'd understand instead. Weeks became months, and months became years. The silence from the mailbox only deepened all his fears. He wondered if the letters ever reached their destination, or vanished in the chaos of celebrity admiration. This is the dark side nobody sees, when admiration grows into a desperate need. When the line between reality and fantasy fades, a lonely heart can get lost in the maze. The story isn't hatred, the story isn't fame. It's what can happen when obsession starts replacing your name. His room became a shrine to a life he'd never known. Every magazine collected, every concert overblown. Friends stopped calling, family stopped trying, but he was too invested to notice what was dying. The artist was a symbol, a beacon in the storm, a person he imagined would keep his spirit warm. Yet every unanswered letter felt like a fresh wound, echoing through the silence of an empty room. He studied every interview, searching for a clue. Certain hidden messages were directed straight to you. Or maybe that's what happens when loneliness expands. You start to see your reflection in someone else's plans. His girlfriend tried to help him understand that heroes are still humans, not gods with magic hands. But he couldn't hear the warning through the noise inside. His identity has slowly become tied to the ride. The more he built the image, the less he saw the truth. The more he chased the dream, the further from his youth. Every disappointment fed the fire burning bright, turning admiration into something not quite right. This is the dark side nobody sees, when admiration grows into a desperate need. When the line between reality and fantasy fades, a lonely heart can get lost in the maze. The story isn't hatred, the story isn't fame. It's what can happen when obsession starts replacing your name. The artist never knew him, never heard his cry, never saw the tears falling from his eyes. Not because he didn't care, not because he was cold, but because millions of voices are impossible to hold. That's the hidden tragedy buried in the tale. A fan seeking salvation through a path destined to fail, expecting one person to heal every scar, just because they happen to be your favorite star. The darkness wasn't created by the music alone. It was years of isolation that had silently grown. The songs became a mirror reflecting all his pain, until reality and imagination shared the same lane. The letters became journals, the journals became proof. The proof became a prison built beneath the roof. And every passing day strengthened the belief that recognition from a stranger could finally bring relief. But relief never came, only deeper confusion. A cycle of hope feeding a dangerous illusion. Because no celebrity can replace what we need most: connection, understanding, and people standing close. Maybe he wasn't crazy, maybe he was hurting, maybe he was searching, maybe he was invisible. And that's what makes the story frightening, because it could happen anywhere, to anyone looking for a light in the wrong place. The lesson isn't don't admire, the lesson isn't don't dream. The lesson is remembering things aren't always what they seem. Your heroes can inspire, your heroes can motivate, but they cannot carry burdens that your heart must navigate. Every generation finds a voice to guide the way. A singer, actor, athlete with something meaningful to say, ay. But when inspiration turns into dependence overnight, the brightest source of comfort can slowly lose its light. The dark story behind the song was never just one man. It became a symbol recognized across the land. A word people now use when devotion goes too far, when someone loses themselves chasing the distant star. So if you're feeling lonely, if you're struggling to cope, reach for those around you before surrendering your hope. Talk to friends and family, seek help when things are rough, because real human connection is powerful.